Hey guys, this is Matt Brunet, and welcome to Movie News Weekly, hosted by FilmBook. Now, before we begin, let's take a look at what we got in this week's news, which includes Jigsaw playing the box office game, From Roxy to Judy, Michael Bay is producing What? The Prize Winner, Connecting the Dots for the End, a disaster bigger than what the movie showed, Officer Adam Driver, Tom Hanks will be sick, big Fast and Furious news, and From Logan to Laura. So with that said, let's get things started. It's a dangerous game when this franchise comes to play. Jigsaw, the latest installment of the Saw franchise, came out to get the top spot at the box office during Halloween weekend with more than $16 million. Although it is on the lower end in terms of openings for the series, it's actually not the weakest opening, which that title belongs to Saw 6 with $14 million. Behind Jigsaw is the other recent Halloween movie with Boo 2, A Madea Halloween, going down from second place with $10 million, in front of the Warner Brothers bomb Geostorm, which went down to third place with more than $5.5 million. Meanwhile, the other new movies this week came in feeling barely noticed. Thank You for Your Service only started in 6th place with more than $3.5 million, behind Happy Death Day with $6 million, and Blade Runner 2049 with $4 million, and Suburbicon in 9th with less than $3 million, behind Only the Brave with around $3.5 million, and The Foreigner with more than $3 million. It's been years since we've seen her perform, and now here's our chance to witness Dorothy live. Two-time Oliver Award winner and Tony nominee Tom Edge will be directing Judy, that will star Renee Zellweger. The movie will be based on a true story of Hollywood star Judy Garland as she steps up for her final series of concert shows in London during the late 1960s. Along with making the show as grand as she can, she also establishes her relationship with Michael Dean and fights the dark memories of her past living life in Hollywood and being distant from her kids. Pathé will be handling the finances along with Calamity Films and take care of the distribution in the UK, France, and Switzerland. Garland is recognized as one of the biggest stars during the golden age of Hollywood, with her most famous role that she ever played was Dorothy in the 1938 film The Wizard of Oz. Production is set to start on February 2018. Take a moment to look at the title here. You tell me what is wrong here. Paramount has officially announced that they will be making a live-action feature film of the popular Nickelodeon children's series Dora the Explorer. While no plot details have been released, it is said that the movie will present Dora as a teenager moving to the big city with her cousin Diego. No director has been attached, but Paramount did secure Nick Stoller to be the writer, while Michael Bay, out of all people, will be producing with Andrew Form and Brad Fuller of Platinum Dunes. Stoller has proven that he could be worthy for the project with great experiences working on family films and already existing properties, with writing credits that includes the 2011 Muppets and Muppets Most Wanted, Storks, and Captain Underpants: The First Epic Movie. Paramount is hoping to get the movie made so it could have a 2019 release. I think I could safely say that the festival went well. The Breadwinner has been inducted as the first grand prize winner at the annual Animation is Film Festival in Hollywood. Jury chairman Peter DeBruge stated, "The Breadwinner is not just an incredibly important film, but one that reminds us of the power of animation to communicate serious issues in the world. Transforming hardships into a warm and moving story, the movie represents a triumph by its director Nora Twomey in terms of script, voice acting, design, music, and editing." The Breadwinner is the third animated film for the Irish studio Cartoon Saloon, behind the Oscar-nominated movies The Secret of Kells and Song of the Sea, and the film has often been noted to have Angelina Jolie credited as an executive producer. In addition to the grand prize and also the audience award, the festival also gave the special jury prize to The Big Bad Fox and Other Tales, made by the artist that also created Ernest and Celestine. Leave it to Marvel to make sure that the big story will conclude with more than one film. In an interview with IndieWire, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige gave a little hint that one of the upcoming Marvel movies, Captain Marvel, will ultimately lead to the fourth Avengers film. Feige stated, "We're really focusing on Captain Marvel and the work that Anna and Ryan are doing. It's going to be a big part of heading towards the epic conclusion and epic finale of 22 movies over the course of 10 years. That is the focus for the next 6 movies we have to finish and get out. The focus now is on delivering Captain Marvel and then bringing Captain Marvel's story into the finale of everything we've started thus far. Directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, the movie will be a prequel set before any of the films from the Marvel Cinematic Universe that will feature both Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson, and Nick Fury without his eye patch. The Captain will be heading to theaters in 2019. You see, the disaster is not what's happening in the movie, it's in the box office numbers. Last weekend, when Geostorm was released in theaters, it had a very poor opening weekend with $13.7 million behind Boo 2: A Madea Halloween. However, this could mean horrifying results for Warner Brothers. Due to a massive budget of $120 million, on top of an additional $15 million for reshoots, the company could be facing with a loss to up to $100 million. However, since it is a collaborative project with Skydance and Rat Pack, Warner Brothers won't be losing that much since they will all split the bill on this one. This will mark as the second time this year that the company released a big budget feature that became a box office bomb. The first was King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, that had a huge budget of $175 million and ended up with $148.7 million worldwide. Now, don't worry guys, Kylo Ren is not that evil to be a white nationalist. Adam Driver has signed on with Spike Lee in order to appear in his upcoming crime thriller, Black Klansman. The movie will be about Detective Ron Stallworth, played by John David, who went undercover in 1978 to see what's going on in the Ku Klux Klan, despite him being African American. Driver will be playing the role of an antisocial cop who is said to be the best in the police force thanks to his perfectionism and dedication. The movie will be written by David Rabinowitz, Charlie Watchell, and Kevin Wilmot, while Jordan Peele, Jason Blum of Blumhouse Pictures, and Sean Reddick, Sean McKittrick, and Raymond Mansfield of QC Entertainment will be the producers of the feature. Also joining Driver and David among the cast is Laura Harrier, who was recently seen in Spider-Man: Homecoming. The next movie Adam will be appearing will be in Star Wars: The Last Jedi, set to be released on December 15th. This could probably be the closest thing we could get to a live-action remake of WALL-E. Tom Hanks has signed on in order to star in the upcoming sci-fi film BIOS. The movie will be about a robot in a post-apocalyptic world where it was programmed to protect the dog of its dying inventor, played by Hanks, while it learns to love and understand the meaning of life. The movie was written by Ivor Powell and Craig Luck, while Game of Thrones director Michael Spakochnik is taking the helm. The director has an Emmy under his belt for the episode Battle of the Bastards. The movie is currently being shopped around with many that are interested to buy. Legendary and Warner Brothers are keeping an eye on it, but it seems like Amblin could have a strong chance to own it. When Hank's schedule is less busy, the movie will begin production at the start of 2018. I'm sure fans will be happy to hear some good news about the franchise this time. On Facebook, Vin Diesel made 2 big announcements for the 9th and 10th installment of the Fast and Furious franchise. The first was that Diesel confirmed that the rumors that Justin Lin will be the director of both upcoming sequels. He also confirmed that returning to the cast is Jordana Brewster as Dom's sister, Mia Toretto. The news of Lin's return to the franchise sent shockwaves on social media, since he was the director of some of the movies from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift in 2006 all the way up to Furious 6 in 2013. The later films of the franchise would be directed by James Wan and F. Gary Gray. The upcoming Fast and Furious movies include a spin-off film starring Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham in 2019, the 9th film on April 2020, and the 10th in 2021. Now that sounds like a great way to pass the torch. In an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Hutch Parker, James Mangold, and Hugh Jackman look back at the success they had with Jackman's final Wolverine film, Logan. However, while they were talking, the guys also mentioned about the possibility of creating a spin-off film that would star Laura, who was played by Daphne King in Logan. Mangold stated that the possibility of the movie became more strong thanks to the success of Wonder Woman, proving that there is a demand for female lead superhero movies. He said, Patty's success with that film only solidifies more for studios that there's less fear with a female protagonist. The more that keeps getting hit home, that ends up giving me more space turning around and going. Well, here we are with a female protagonist. That's incredible. And what are we going to do with her? And that's where we are with the Laura script right now, Dreaming. Craig Kyle, who was credited for creating Laura for the 2003 animated series X-Men Evolution, is working on the script with Mangold. And that's all I've got for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to head on down to film-book.com for all the latest movie and TV news, along with their columns on the box office and their theatrical release schedule. Also, you can follow them on whatever social media you'd like. And while you're at it, you can follow me on my YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter if you're more into stuff like animation, Disney, and my weird sense of humor. If you were watching this on YouTube, then hit that like button and come subscribe to us, and also leave a little comment on what you think on the news this week. If you were listening to this on a podcast on iTunes or any other podcast service, then don't forget to rate and review what you just heard. Tune in next time for another round of Movie News Weekly, and until next week, see you later, dudes!